How's it going, everybody? I've got some more Magic for you today. This time I am going to be playing Best of 3. I've noticed that the meta currently is kind of trash. Really, all you're going to go up against, or at least all I'm running into, is a smattering of a few here or there mono reds, and then everything else is Dimir and Golgari. The Dimir is the staple meta Dimir deck that you see running around using a bunch of little tiny creatures, and Kaito, the one that can enter, that is a creature during your turn and a planeswalker during your opponent's turn. And then the Golgari deck is essentially running this. You've got your Unholy Annex, your Archfiend of the Dross, your Unstoppable Slashers. Now, there may be a mix match of some other cards in there. Gliss is definitely in there. You'll usually see the Mosswood Dread Knight. However, there's not a lot of variety right now in what people are playing, which is sad, because it's essentially what they found that they were playing at the end of Duskmourn. They're not really branching out or checking out any new cards. And so my answer to that was just to play something just as frustrating for them, essentially. It's not as fun to do that, obviously, but if you want a deck that is actually going to be able to compete with it and still make a sizable stance against those decks, this one is the one that I have been playing that has been the most competitive. So we do have some new cards here. I threw in one Desecration Demon. I don't think that it's better than the Archfiend of Dross. They both have the same mana cost, but the Archfiend can't be tapped down. Now, the Archfiend does have the drawback of potentially losing you the match if the 1/1 oil counters run out. However, the big benefit from the Archfiend that you don't get from the Desecration Demon is that when you have an Archfiend of the Dross on the battlefield and an opponent's creature dies, they lose 2 life. So that really actually makes a significant difference in the amount of damage that you're dealing. I did still keep a Desecration Demon in here just to play with one and try it out. If you have an Archfiend out on the battlefield with the Desecration Demon, then their abilities play very well with each other, because if someone wants to tap down the Desecration Demon, they're still going to take 2 damage from sacrificing a creature to do so if you have the Archfiend out. I am playing Bloodletter of Aclazotz. This card is obnoxious on its own. Along with having an instant win combo with the Unstoppable Slasher, this card pairs ridiculously well with the Unholy Annex and Ritual Chamber. It makes it to where whenever it pings your opponent for 2 damage and you gain 2 life, it pings them for 4 damage instead with the Bloodletter out on the battlefield. Not to mention Archfiend, Desecration Demon, Bloodletter, and the Ritual Chamber all are demons to prevent you from taking damage. And then you also have this new Soulstone Sanctuary, which is all creature types, meaning yes, it is also a demon, so you can get the Unholy Annex trigger to hurt your opponent from that as well. I am playing the new Liliana, mostly because it's fun and I wanted to give it a try. You could easily do something different. I wouldn't go with Outrageous Robbery like the Golgari deck, just because you don't have the ramp that you have from Golgari to make it useful. But that being said, getting up to 6 mana with this deck is not that difficult. I don't know, I think I'm running 23, 25. So yeah, you'll definitely get up to it very quickly. It is possible to get flooded, but as long as you have draw mechanics out, it should be easy enough to get to. But 6 mana, not that hard at all. Liliana creating the 2/2 black zombie creature tokens is really good. We do have some zombies between that and the Unstoppable Slasher, and we got just a splash of bats, because we do have the Deep Cavern Bat. But anyway, and then you've got each player sacrifices 2 creatures of their choice. That's their -4 ability. Very good. A great way of potentially clearing the board of any potential threats against her if you get it out on an open board or something along those lines. And then the -9, which is very difficult to get to, it honestly is each opponent chooses a permanent they control of each permanent type and sacrifices the rest. Very, very strong ability, but I have yet to see it happen in any match, my own or anyone else's. So, pretty hard to do. But this card is fantastic. I wanted to play around with it, so that's why it's in here. Pretty much everything else is removal. We've got Deep Cavern Bat to take a card from our opponent's hand, go for the Throat to shoot something, kill it, as long as it's not an artifact, Duress so that we can take an instant sorcery, any non-creature card, non-creature, non-land card from our opponent's hand. Dreams of Steel and Oil, so that we can take creature cards from our opponent's hand, or artifacts, which is relevant. And we've got Cut Down, just a few of them, but it can help in a lot of aggressive matchups especially. Anoint the Affliction, or Anoint with Affliction. This card's fantastic right now. It hits mirror matches, or even those matches against Golgari that I was talking about. It gets rid of Unstoppable Slasher, it gets rid of Glissa, it gets rid of Mosswood Dread Knight. All of those things are annoying. Glissa isn't persistent, but the Unstoppable Slasher and Mosswood Dread Knight are persistent. They keep coming back even if they die, so having that Anoint with Affliction to exile them is truly important. It's necessary. And it also works on this 1/2 drop removal, also works on the demons from the Ritual Chamber. It also works on land creatures, because it doesn't say non-land. And you'll run into that issue if you're using something like a Terra Sunder or something along those lines in Golgari. Is that it does specify non-land. But so Anoint with Affliction's fantastic. Now this is a best of 3 deck, so I do have a sideboard. We've got another Duress. I think only one? Yeah, so you've got a max of 3. We've got Ghost Vacuum for graveyard decks. Nowhere to Run, very important for a lot of the aggro decks, Boros, Mono Red, those sorts of things. Gets around Boros and Gruul very nicely when they've got like Snakeskin Veils or Shard Mage's Rescue, those sorts of things. But is also just a really good removal in general anyway. We've got Liliana of the Veil in case you need to go a little bit more control-y, which can be relevant. Maybe you need to get more cards out of your opponent's hand. Or even just in those really aggro matchups. She might die from it, but you can use her to clear creatures as another removal. Got Feed the Swarm. This is a new one, or a new Foundations card as well. I like it better than the Duskmourn 3-cost 2 damage one that destroys artifacts, or not artifacts, enchantments or creatures. This one does deal damage to you equal to the mana value of the opposing enchantment, but in most cases that's still only going to be like 2 points. Sometimes it'll be more. Like you could, if you were using the 3-cost one, you would only take 2 damage to get rid of like a Leyline, the white one that can exile any permanent, but this one would obviously hurt you a lot more. The benefit of this one's it's only a 2-cost card, where the other one's a 3, so that's why I chose it. We've got a couple of Blot Out. These can be really useful in that Dimir matchup specifically, in case you're running into issues with like Kaito, for example, since it does have hexproof while it is a creature. Very nice removal for it. We've got Malicious Eclipse. People are playing a lot of elves, and maybe a little bit of goblins and stuff like that right now, so having some cheap board wipes that exiles the board is relevant. Aquazotz isn't the most relevant, but sometimes you might want the Flying Lifelink, another persistent creature like the Unstoppable Slasher that's hard to get rid of. And then Gix's Command for a board wipe that gives you a nice little bit of options. You can use it to clear all the 2 or less power creatures, you can use it to gain life, you can use it to make them sacrifice their largest creature, and you can return creature cards from your graveyard to your hand. So a lot of utility here if you do need it. Anyway, I'll go ahead and start getting into games. I've played with this deck fairly excessively over the weekend so that I could get a good feel for it. So I don't know how many I'm going to play. I'm going to start off trying to do best of 3, and if I can get 3 wins quickly in best of 3, that'll be the video. If it doesn't go well, because I have been having just some trouble in best of 3, not so much with this deck, but with some of my others, I may switch to best of 1, and maybe I'll do like 5 wins or something like that. But anyway, we'll see how it goes. You'll get to check it out from the video. Alright, looks like our opponent's getting the choice to go first, unfortunately. Honestly, it matters. Going first can make all the difference between winning and losing in Magic, unfortunately. I'm going to keep this. It's not ideal. Got a Llanowar Elf. Doesn't really say much of anything. Could very well just be Golgari. Could be an Elf deck. Most likely is just Golgari. I have seen people throwing in Llanowar Elves in that. Looks like it's not. So we'll see what we get. I would like another land, obviously. Probably would go Annex so that we could get some card draw going. We'll go to Instep. We'll kill it. Since we're still not getting land, let's go ahead and duress. Probably all creatures. Yeah, that's about what I expected. These are some big creatures. Not getting any land here is going to be the crux of our defeat, honestly. We're not going to have any chance at survival because of that, most likely. Honestly, he needs to add land into his hand more than other things. Okay. I am going to take the Boltborn Tyrant because Calamity is a legendary creature and it won't have anything to copy even if it gets to come out, and I do have Go for the Throat. Finally a land. For the same thought process, I can put out an Unstoppable Slasher and have a perfectly good blocker for the horse. So now he's going to get to put things out on the battlefield. Or no, he still can't. So he's still going for mana? No, he wanted creatures. He's going to get the Avatar out as a land, I guess. I think in this case what we do is we swing out. If I get a land, I'll just play the Bloodletter and win. Which I did. So yeah, this is... Well, no, we don't have 3 black. So what I'll do here is I'll play the Sanctuary. I'm going to attack out and just hold up my Go for the Throat so that when he gets a creature or 2 out on the battlefield, I can just kill it. Boiler Bilges is a 5/5 and it will hit my Slasher. Doesn't get rid of it. I do probably have to go ahead and use my Go for the Throat here, which I don't love. But he doesn't have another Smuggler Surprise, and I'm gonna go with the odds that he's probably not going to get one quickly. We're at a huge disadvantage because we took so long to get land, and this is a 25 land deck. The Matchmaker and Shuffler on Arena has been the worst for me that it has ever been in this past week or so. So, come on. What is taking you so long? You literally have nothing to decide on. Did he disconnect or something? Like, what's going on? Is it this? Discard for this? That might be a waste, but it just seemed the most valuable that I could do at the moment. Let's go ahead with another Slasher while we wait on a Swamp. Gives us a continuation of a good blocker against his Calamities. Yeah, Galloping Calamity, Galloping Inferno. So I will say this is an interesting deck than I have been seeing, which is nice. I love to see that people are doing something different. Of course, I'm enforcing the opposite of that by playing so many of these disgusting cards, but you know what? You gotta do what you gotta do. That's unfortunately the only way that I've been able to stand up against the meta recently. Really? So we could be in trouble there. I shouldn't have attacked with my bat. I still think we're probably fine, though, honestly. Just keep mowing everything out of our way. Yeah, no surprise here. I'm gonna just take it. I don't see any reason not to. So this is extremely risky, but we'll see what I can get out of this.
Your corpse will make an excellent minion. Necromancy is a lot like plucking turnips. You get used to this. No way but my way.
I still really don't have a chance here, unfortunately. Because he's going to be able to play Calamity and then attack with a bunch of 7/7s.
Won't conquer me so easily.
So what do we do here? I don't think there's anything that I want to bring in, honestly. Maybe Blot Out's useful here. Probably instead of Anoint. So let's do that. Let's remove the Anoints for the Blot Out. Because that could be relevant, though I don't see it being very helpful. Now we do have the advantage going first this time, which, like I said, that makes literally all the difference in Magic, unfortunately. Hopefully this time we actually draw some land. Did get the land this time, which is nice. Hopefully that continues, because we would like at least 4. Okay. Got a Slasher coming. We do have okay removal. Always have the potential to just win if we can get a swamp, or any land, actually. Boiler Bilges does end up tapping down our Slasher. Not the biggest deal. We get the land, so in this case I'm gonna go with Archfiend. Okay. Go Aclazotz. This will be hitting for 12 if they do nothing. Opponent's got some stuff to think about here. Obviously, I'm hitting for an absolute ton with my Archfiend. I do have removal. Aclazotz makes any of this stuff deadly. Yep, so that was a very quick round win, and kind of an easy way to see how that can go if your opponent's playing something very slow. I still think this is totally fine. Cut down's still fine and stuff too, because we know that he's running Llanowar Elves. We'll see if he wins just because he gets to go first this time. And this certainly shouldn't take any amount of time. Like, I don't know what he's doing that's making him take this long to decide whether he wants to go first or not. You just pick to go first always. Yeah, I wonder what he chose. You know, like, what took so long? Just being a jerk? Being salty and deciding that you want to take forever to decide on what you're doing? Like, keep your hand or don't. You know, play first or don't. Sideboard or don't. Our hand here isn't that great. We don't have any turn 1 plays and not a ton of interaction. Obviously, we'll be going with the Cavern Bat here next, unless we have a huge reason not to, which I'm not familiar with in this deck to begin with. The biggest threat from this deck is him getting to actually play like Vault-Born Tyrant at all, or using it with Calamity to have a big turn. And this deck isn't new. They've added Llanowar Elves and I guess tweaked it a bit, but between Vault-Born Tyrant or what's the other one? I can't even remember, but it's the dragon that whenever a creature enters, it deals damage equal to its power. I can't remember. I can't believe I can't remember it now, but. So this is exactly what I was talking about not getting any good matches in best of 3. People are just unnecessarily roping excessively. It's not very fun. I'm gonna just go straight swamp just in case we get an Aquazotz. Bloodletter. So what do we have here? Do we care? It's obviously gonna be Smuggler's Surprise, because he just doesn't need that card, period. Now he's got land, which looks like he didn't draw a land. That's interesting. Go one more swamp here. And then what'll he have? Not a lot. I am going to go ahead and use Go for the Throat here, even though it's not necessary, just to stifle his land even more. But yeah, people roping and stuff like that, I'm getting a lot of that in best of 3 right now. And a lot of people like Mono Red playing best of 3, they'll play out the first round and win or lose. They'll either be like extremely slow going forward, or they'll just rope you, or if they lost really bad, they'll just be really... It's just really toxic. The community's been really not... It's been a combination of people being really toxic, and then the fact, like I said, the matchmaker and the... Shuffler being gross. Like that match with me getting nothing but no land the very first round. That's really disappointing. And that's essentially what's happening to this guy now, which is exactly why I targeted his Llanowar Elf. He probably should have kept the first one that he milled. I bet he was going for land, though. Alright. So the opponent scooped there. I may or may not include this match. You got to see essentially exactly what's going on. Like, really toxic community right now. Shuffler and Matchmaker's kind of gross. But at least this deck wasn't the Golgari or Dimir matchup. Like, I got to play against something different. But that's why I built this deck, is it's all I've been running into. So I wanted to have a deck that was as competitive as possible. And even though this wasn't something that I was ready for in the first game, you can see it is a very powerful deck. And I almost won the first game, too. It just, he outvalued me with this stupid Calamity. Anyway, we'll go into the next match. I'll probably include this just as a good reference for what I'm dealing with. But, if we continue best of 3 anyway, this is probably one of the wins. Looks like our opponent gets to go first again. No surprise. No good options here, really. Needed to get rid of that while he had no mana to protect it. Getting some early damage against us here, unfortunately. And they're getting to draw a lot of cards. So they'll definitely have answers to anything that I play, unfortunately. No shortage of answers, like I said. Getting to just completely go wild here. Eclipse wouldn't even be very good here, because this is the only thing that actually is weak enough for it to matter. That being too cheaper is pretty obnoxious as well. Yeah, there's just no chance here. So I think in this case, we've got to go real heavy in the removal department. I think that's going to help us the most. I don't think discard's the way to go at all right now. And it could be, but I think I'm better off just trying to consistently remove everything that they play. This deck has a tendency to fizzle out if you can keep all the creatures off the board. And with us having nowhere to run, we'll be able to get past any kind of Shard Mage's Rescue, Ward, or Hexproof, or any of that kind of nonsense. And we get to go first this round, which will make all the difference too. No removal. Pretty shocking here, but I'll keep it just because we do get to go first, and we've got a lot of slashers, which are going to be huge. Maybe I'll even start with a Annex over a slasher, depending on what they do. In this case, I'll try and see how many creatures they have. So they're really hurting for creatures. This will give me the best possible chance at using something like Liliana. Yeah, didn't make any difference there.
Those who get in my way.
Now that we've got Liliana, we'll be able to kind of control the board quite a bit better until they get up to the Overlord. Another get lost. So they didn't even bother playing a creature here, which is kind of silly in my opinion. Let's go... I guess it didn't pull it up again. Let's get Demon. I'm going to play Annex. We really need to draw some cards here. Deadly cover-up's really good against these things. Bloodletter's pretty nice, because if he just swings in recklessly, I might be able to just get an instant win. It doesn't look like that's happening, because I forgot entirely about the Mistmore. Anoint's really nice for getting rid of the Enduring, because it is a 3 cost. He has to block here, or just lose. Okay, so he's deciding to get rid of both creatures so that he can keep his Enduring. I don't think it was necessary, though. He could have just blocked with the Enduring Curiosity and gotten to keep his Glimmer Seeker. I think in this case, I just want another big creature. I'll wait. I'm actually not in a hurry at all at the moment. So we got a good comeback on that round. No big surprise. He wasn't going to be able to stop the damage that was going to come through and kill him flying. Got a really big thought that this could be good, but I just don't think it's worth it. Gix's command, I think Deadly Cover-Up would be a lot better in this matchup. Another opponent taking an unnecessarily long time to sideboard. Like, we're already into game 3. Any sideboarding you were gonna do should have been done by our second game. I can understand some tweaks, but they shouldn't take that long. This is fine. A lot of removal. Good chance that I actually can wipe out most of his plays early. So they've got Get Lost and Ossification, meaning I don't have a lot of plays that I can do here. Ossification's not really a big threat. I guess I'd rather get rid of it, because then he'll have to get lost and give me some map tokens. This will probably bait out that Get Lost.
I'm tired of your secrets.
Not really surprised or bothered by him playing that whatsoever. That really doesn't help him at all either. Now he's got an Ossification and he can attack my Lily. But I think that was a pretty silly play, actually.
You won't be outsmarting me.
Now he's out of creatures and removal. And I don't know what he's drawn, obviously, but he'll need a land even just to attack Lily.
It.
I'm looking okay right now, depending on what he draws, obviously. It's actually a really good draw.
Don't overthink things.
Yeah, so I mean, best case scenario for him right now is he can attack Lily, which doesn't save him. It doesn't even kill her.
Watch it.
How much does this cost? 4? If I had 1 extra land, see what I draw. Good enough.
I'm tired of your secrets.
So the opponent's in a lot of trouble now. They're at 6 life. Yeah. So another easy win. This deck is very strong and competitive. The only things that I've had beat me with this deck so far has been the game deciding either to give me nothing but land or to not give me any land. Which, I know that happens a lot, but it's been happening significantly more than usual this past week. So I don't know if something's going on with Arena. Hopefully you guys aren't experiencing that too, because it's really frustrating. Yeah, so far this is a lot of fun. I haven't been getting a lot of mileage out of the Desecration Demon. It's kind of just here from time to time. Like I said, I don't think it's particularly better than using the Archfiend, which I do have a playset of, but I just thought I'd throw one in here for fun. Anyway, that's 2 out of 3 games done. We'll see about getting 1 more out of the way. We do actually get to go first for once, so that's pretty nice. Literally the first time so far recording. No 1-drops again, which is sad, but we've got a really nice hand here. Another enchantment deck, which is so odd to me. That being said, I'll probably end up sideboarding exactly like I did for the Azorius one and just go heavy removal instead of discard. Playing my creatures at this point with me behind is pretty pointless. Because if I play this Unstoppable Slasher, he'll just play something like a Sheltered by Ghost or something like that to get rid of it. Him not having land is interesting, though. That doesn't really change things, I don't think. I'd rather get the Annex out and start getting a demon in hand. More discard's interesting. Only because they're hurting on land, though. Yeah. So that didn't even last. They could go for like a Sheltered by Ghost on my Unholy Annex. That would be an interesting play. What do I want to do here? Go here. I still don't think there's a lot of value in going for a creature at the moment, but I'll go ahead, tick this up now that that's relevant at all either. Got a removal spell now, which isn't the worst thing. We'll be able to get a demon out this turn. Unfortunately, we're going to have to deal with the fact that they'll probably have removal for it. That's probably getting rid of my Slasher. Yeah, no surprise there. That being said, if they don't have any more land, I can just get rid of that. Get my Slasher back. But we do really need a demon out. I'll risk it for one more turn, I suppose. Which ward do they have here? I may have messed up. I certainly did. Okay. I didn't realize it had ward on top of the sheltered. That was my mistake entirely. So, exact same as before. We're gonna just go heavy removal. I am gonna get rid of Duress. I'm gonna get rid of Bandit's Talent. And we're good to go. So that was entirely my mistake. I should have just done a demon and gotten a little bit of healing off of it instead. Perfectly good looking hand. We've got land, we've got early removal. I hate that we squandered that opportunity with them having bad land. So this thing starts off with ward. They're going to be really annoying about that, I suppose. I'm going to have to save my removal for non-warded targets, I suppose. At least until I can get a nowhere to run. Which I did add Lily and Blot out in as well. Or I meant to if I didn't. I think I did. Okay, we didn't have a snakeskin veil. Yeah, let's go ahead and go for it so we can draw some answers. Anything that I care about here? Not really. I'm just going to take that because it's annoying. Would really like a Lily or something here, honestly. I have no idea. Maybe he's got a sheltered by Ghost and can't decide what he wants to take. That's the only thing that I could think is why he's taking so long. Okay. Was it necessary for you to take that long to figure that out? And then you're putting Audacity on the one that just came in. Odd. Okay. So let's go here. I'm just gonna go Demon and attack. Or, well, this has Flash, right? I'm not even gonna bother attacking. More card draw, more healing. Does this give ward or anything? It does not. Sheltered by Ghost gets to steal my demon, which is sad because my demon doesn't get to have fun. I'm not going to get it back if I kill the creature. That's why it's sad more than anything. I'm going to go ahead and go here. Then at this point, honestly, I'm fine just holding up. Go for the throat on his stupid overlord. Aclazot's is a great draw. Or Archfiend, I should say. Aclazot's is the one that's going to basically win this for us now, unless he can remove it. Because even if I do nothing, I'm just going to keep draining him so much. We'll just get rid of this next turn, even though it'll give him a draw. Interesting. I meant to use this. That was my mistake. So let's go here, here. And then here. Give us a little extra damage, a little 4. And I'll just continue to wait. Another 4. That's why I think Archfiend is better than Desecration Demon, is because you can do stuff like that. Honestly, at this point, even if we do nothing and just play Aclazotz, we win, so... He's gonna attack for 6. Be up at 12. Now he doesn't have a way to generate a flying blocker, so I just win. Got a zombie. We'll make a zombie. Yeah. Let's just get this with Anoint. I didn't really need to do anything. I could have just played Aclazotz and won there too. I just wanted to completely demoralize him. Use all that mana to wipe out his creature that he made it so hard to kill. Because I certainly had plenty. Nowhere to Run's great. Just because of that, I'm keeping this. Land is fine too, though. Blot-out's good. We got our big Lily. The Dreadhorde General. So he's not playing a creature, which is interesting. We're obviously... I'll hold out for now, but I'm probably going to go for Nowhere to Run just to get everything out of my way right away. That's going to immediately make it to where I don't have to care about ward or anything anymore. And then whether this hits or not, which it did, I didn't know, he might have had a way to pump it. Whether that hit or not, I was going to be getting him with, let's go here for Demon. Hitting him with the Blot Out on this turn. My cat has a nice little platform to sit on. So they may rope us here. Honestly, the Nowhere to Run shuts down their whole deck. So they're pretty much cooked here. Going for land, okay. They play Mana Ramp. Good to go. In this case, I don't have to hold it up, but I think I'll go Desecration Demon. I don't get enough use of this card. See how he answers it. Open up all the Phyrexian incubators. Okay, he's taking my Desecration Demon. Oh no, he took the Sheltered. Smart. But I'll get that back. So let's go ahead. Do I care at the moment? No. Maybe I'll just wait till he plays something else and attack him. I do need to do it. Well, I'm really not in that big of a rush. It does have Ward 2 twice now, so 2, 4. Okay. You can copy it with Calyx. So, I mean, that is frustrating. I should have done it, I guess, to prevent all this nonsense. Here we go. We'll do this. Get rid of Calyx. Now I'll be able to use Blot Out and get everything back. Not that he can copy anything now, but yeah, that's how to do that. I was overthinking it. All right, we're looking pretty good. I think we've got this one pretty handily wrapped up here, to be honest. None of these things have trample. Let's have a little fun.
I am the master here. Don't speak ill of the undead.
They can tap down Desecration Demon if they want to sack a creature. Then I'll only be able to attack with the Unstoppable Slasher, which they will still need to block, I'm pretty sure. Okay, they can't block the Desecration Demon now, so they just lose. And I get to draw a card. Or no, they go down to 1.
Time to wake up and smell the decay.
I forgot about that. And this will get trample from this if he levels it up, right? Still can't kill her even though, or I don't think so. Could be wrong. I think the 2 toughness of the zombie will be enough to protect it regardless. But he's only on 4 land. I'm telling you, the shuffler's messed up. It's rigged. This is not this person's deck's fault. I've been pretty salty. This week has been really ridiculous as far as this stuff, so I apologize for that. But this is what I'm talking about. Dude has 3 land, and then 1 that he got from the creature that he played. It's just absurdity.
Time to get my hands dirty.
There's really nothing he can do here to survive. He needs a creature to sacrifice, because I don't actually have to attack to win. Yeah, poor guy. There was nothing he could do there. Enchantment decks aren't super good, though. As long as you're running some sacrifice outlets, some good removal, Nowhere to Run really helps, obviously. Blot Out is really fantastic as well. Liliana, not this one, but the one that does the... Oh, what's it called? The one that does the sacrifice one. But sacrifice 2 works, too. I could have made him sacrifice 2 creatures if he had them, but... Anyway, there's 3 games. Played up against... I don't even remember what the first match was, honestly. But we had Azorius Enchantments right before this, and then Selesnya Enchantments. Neither is particularly great. I'm telling you, the meta right now is to play demons. Whether that be in Golgari, Mono Black, whatever, play demons, because it's busted. It really is. You've got Unstoppable Slasher, which is completely unfair, has an instant win combo with the Bloodletter of Akhlazotz. You've got the Bloodletter, which is a demon. You've got Desecration Demon. You've got Archfiend of Dross. If you want to go even crazier, there's some 3-drop demon that was added. These lands count as demons. You've got Valgavoth if you go some crazy route and keeping him in. Like, this Unholy Annex is the meta. That's just you win if you have this card in your deck, essentially. But anyway, thank you all for joining me. I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it actually helped you get some wins, because that's what I made it for. It's not nearly as fun as playing something a little more creative, but it might actually help you climb ladder. So I hope you guys enjoyed it.